Rolling. So it's been a little while. Today's gonna be a bit of a just sit down catch up video because some of you guys follow me on Instagram and some of you don't. So I kind of gonna go through like where I've been and like how I've been doing pretty much this year. So a lot of people that follow me on Instagram actually knows I've put up a post a couple months ago about me not competing, and I always feel like I share a lot on Instagram, like how I've been doing or like what I've been doing, but I actually realized that I don't really. So that's why I prefer being on YouTube and can like people who actually wants to like know more and like kind of know what's going on are gonna have a bit more information here. It's a bit easier for me to kind of like express myself here. So I'll just kind of like rewind back to like beginning of the year, after the Olympia last year. So people who doesn't know me, I'm an IFBB pro. It's been 2 years now, so I've done 3 pro shows, Toronto Pro twice, and then I did Vancouver 2022, won in Vancouver, qualified for Olympia, went to Olympia. Didn't play super well, but it was an amazing experience, and just being at the Olympia was amazing. Then January arrived, we decided to take a little bit bigger break because I've been in prep for so long. I've also been prepping for 5 years, almost non-stop. I had like 2 months off here and there, but pretty much I've been prepping for like 5 years in a row, a couple shows a year. So we decided to like started prep kind of like a bit before, quite a lot before June, maybe like 2 months before that, but kind of like I usually start prep January, so I usually start prep beginning of the year, do early show in the summer, so we can like push it back a little bit to have a bit more rest. And then starting prep, I was like 10 weeks into prep, so I was 10 weeks out from San Antonio. I was supposed to do 3 shows in a row, so I already had 3 show plan, and tried to qualify for Olympia again. So I was 10 weeks out, and it was around my birthday, and I was meeting my mom and dad just for my birthday weekend, and I don't see them often. They live pretty far, so I was excited to see them, wanted to spend my birthday with them. And just before I left for my birthday, I had a call with that private doctor, and I went to see a doctor. So I had an IUD. It's a little bit of information, but IUD without hormones is kind of like to not have children, kind of like a type of protection, but without hormones, because obviously competing, I don't want to put a lot of hormones in my body. And it was like over like 5 years, so I had to take it out. So I went to see a doctor. He made me do like a bunch of like tests and everything. Haven't had my period for literally almost 3 years now. 2021 December was the last time I had them, so I knew my hormone was probably imbalanced a bit, and like, but we're so focused all the time of like competing that I can like push it to the side. This year I went to see him, took my IUD out, and there was just a couple like number off on my blood work, because I always make sure I make my blood work before like competing, or even when I'm like in prep and then off season. So end up being like there's some number off, I should really go see that doctor. So when I had the call with her, I was really discouraged. There was a lot of things like popping out, and I was like, it feels like a lot, especially me being kind of foreign. Like I'm getting good in English, but there's still stuff, because my first language is French, so there's still stuff that I'm like having a hard time to like process and like understand. So I'm like, okay, let me have a call again with her and my coach, so he has a better understanding. Obviously competing is money, private doctor is money, things she would prescribe me is more money again. So it's like there was just a lot this year, a lot of change, a lot of like things that I had to like go through, that I was like, I don't know if I can do all of it all together. And at the same time, for me, it felt like counterproductive to kind of like try to like fix my hormone, go to see that doctor, prep at the same time. So it's kind of like trying to work the two together. So end up starting with that doctor, and I was like, I think it's too much. And at the same time, I was like mentally not focused. I was like, I've been competing for 5 years. It's never been an issue. And for the first time this year, I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't get myself to like prep. I can't get myself to wake up in the morning. I can't get myself to like even just follow a diet. So end up talking to Dorian. Very thankfully, he was like super supportive. He was like, we're gonna do what's best for you. So that really helped me to like make my decision. But I decided to like fully fix my health, which is, again, I'm not saying like it's super wrong, but and it's also, it can come from like obviously dieting, putting your body through so much, but I think the IUD didn't help. So it was a really hard decision, but I knew it was like needed, and I beat myself up a little bit at the beginning from it, just because I was feeling like I was like failing, I was like giving up on something, but at the same time, in my heart, I knew I couldn't give my 100%. So I think the reason why I ended up being able to make that decision, it was really like, either I don't want to give up, so I'll keep prepping, or I'm gonna prep and not give my 100%. And I think at the end of the day, you have to decide what's best. So like for me, I was like, yeah, I can keep pushing and show everyone that I can do it. I'm strong enough, even if it's really not what it is about. But there was no reason for me to prove myself that I was strong enough to keep prepping when I wouldn't give my 100%. And especially at the level I'm at, it's like, I don't want to just go on stage for fun. I really had like big expectations. So that's the global of it. End up not prepping. It wasn't easy, but I knew it was the right decision. So I was happy. I traveled a little bit, can like follow a bit more of like how I felt. So I actually ended up not checking in, like not sending check-in to my coach for like weeks now. To that date, I didn't. So I haven't checked in with my coach, and I was like, I'm a big believer of like, even off season, you should check in all the time, stay accountable. And when you're an athlete, it's part of my job, I should give obviously my 100% into it as well. So always check in. I always thought it was like really important. And this year I really went to a point that was like, I've been checking in literally every week for 5 years. I'm like, I need a mental break of like having to send check in, showing off like, oh, like, I was at a point, I'm like, I'm not even 100% on my diet. I know how to diet. So I know like I'm getting my proteins in. I know I'm getting what I need in. I'm like still having my supplements that I need. But if I want to eat steak and egg, that's what I'm going to have. If I want to have salmon rice, I'm going to have that. If I want to have whatever the hell I want a poke bowl, that's what I'm gonna have. So I'm like, there is no point for me to send check-in to my coach, not even following what he's telling me to do, and he's not gonna be able to change anything from that, because there's nothing he can do when he doesn't know what I'm doing. So again, I'm not saying that in a way that like, oh, if you feel type of way, stop checking in, just feel like do whatever you feel and eat and be like, just eat whatever you feel like. That's what I'm not saying. But I think for me personally, I think it's good to have a coach, keep you accountable, follow your stuff. But I just got to a point that I just needed that break, and kind of like a bit of like that freedom. And I think it was not just about freedom, like, oh, I want to eat whatever I want. It was just really like, I don't having the pressure of like having to show how I look weekly. And for a long time this year, I felt like I didn't feel like myself, in terms of everything. I was like going to the gym not motivated. I didn't want to train most of the time, and I'm saying that because I think a lot of people think we're 100% all the time, and like off season it's really important, and I know it is, to like still really train hard, because this is where you improve the most. Bodybuilding is the first thing in my life. That's what I love the most. But this year was just a total, it was really weird for me to be in that set of mind. But I really, instead of like beating myself up, which I would usually, I really like allow myself to be okay with it, and like really just be like, okay, just go how you feel. Because if you like push to like not feel that way, you're gonna try to like go back on prep January and you're not gonna be rested. I'm not gonna be excited. So I was still training, but if one day I felt like in and out the training 40 minutes, that's what I would do. I would still train. I reduced my training to 4 times a week to also try to like recover more. But it's been good to kind of like take that stress kind of off it a little bit more. I push myself to do other things, like you guys saw if you follow me on Instagram. I've been going back to like, well, going back. I've done dance when I was young, but we started like doing hip hop dancing. It's been so fun. And for like a couple of weeks, I was literally more excited about dance than bodybuilding or like going training in the gym. And again, I was just like, it's fine. Like I was okay with it. Instead of being like, oh, it shouldn't be like that. I shouldn't feel that way. So I took a lot in this year. I've learned a lot about, I don't know, myself, or just, I think I just needed to go through that. So now I'm getting like a little bit more excited. And like also the longest time I felt really like, I didn't feel like myself, even like my body was like a lot inflamed. Like I felt like stressed, I felt anxious. My digestion wasn't the best, which usually my digestion has been pretty on point. So it was like a lot of sign of like my body like just wasn't working with me. So a week ago, I finally got my period, which is usually when you take the IUD out, it can take up to 3 months to get them back. So I think that and being followed by the other doctor, like giving me, my iron was low. So having your iron low is like a lot of like, you can be like retired. There's a lot of like sign, like bad sleep. So that improved a lot as well. So I'm going in the right path. I did other blood work. My numbers are better. So I'm already in a better place. My body feels so much better now that I got my period, and my body feels like so much in a better place. I feel like myself again. So everything's going in the right direction, and like I'm getting really excited now to like train again, like, and going back on like a stricter diet, and also just excited actually to like, for the longest time I was on Instagram this year, and I was like, I didn't even care. I wasn't even bothered about like seeing people lean, seeing people compete. Like I was pushing myself to make content, but was like literally I don't fucking want to. And now I'm starting to get excited again to like look at myself when I was lean and like getting back to that. So it's a good sign. But again, I needed to like acknowledge that and like have that break to get there. And I'm just saying everyone's like that. I'm like, but I'm just talking of like out of experience, kind of like show you guys that like it can happen. And like for me, it took 5 years and I got to that, and I'm happy I went through that. I also happy it like took me to push myself to take the year to like improve and grow. So I'm also excited to see how much I've improved having so much like a full year actually like of season. There's still four months to it, but yeah, how much I've improved for like next year. So that's a bit where I'm at right now. Like I said, getting back to a stricter plan. I'm gonna weigh myself. I actually haven't weighed myself in a long time too, which I felt really good. But I'm gonna check in with my coach on probably tomorrow or Monday. So getting back to things slowly, but still trying to like enjoy other things. I'm still like dancing once a week and doing kind of like some stuff for myself. But yeah, it's kind of just wanting to give you guys an update. For the longest time, my laptop was not broken, but there was like no space on my laptop. So finally got myself to bring it to Best Buy. So now it's fixed, so I can edit again. So that is why I'm doing that video. I'm going to be able to edit, going back a bit more on YouTube. And I'm excited to do more videos too. So I'm going to buy a camera too. I'm in the process of buying a new camera because I'm picky. So if I don't like the camera I have, I'm not going to film. So I'm going to be excited about that. But yeah, I'm going to be filming a training video for you guys tomorrow with Emily. I've been having crazy leg workout with her, so I'm excited for that. But I think the point of this video. I didn't want it to be too long. I just wanted to give kind of like a update of like what has been going on since I can like stop prepping to up until now, and where I'm at mentally, and just showing that there is moment that's normal, like it can happen, but happy I went through it. Happy that I'm kind of like took the right direction. I know my body's starting to work with me now, and that I'm gonna be like in a so much better place to like start prepping. I would say probably like beginning of January to do like earlier show next year, but yeah, I'm just happy, and I'm excited to be back on YouTube. I see comments sometime of you guys saying that you guys miss me on YouTube, and it actually means a lot. So yeah, it was really quick, but I'm excited to be back. I think I said it like 10 times now, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed just a little recap. If you guys have any question anytime about if you're going through something like similar, like just having a hard time, can be like post show, anything, my DM on Instagram are always open. I'd love to like chat with you guys and making sure that yeah, I'm there for people, or like I can be help for anyone who needs it. So you guys can reach out to me, and I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you soon on the next video.